Welcome to the eye-catching Russian Grand Prix circuit of Sochi.
Nope, I'm afraid we missed that one, Crofty. Try again.
Welcome! You join us here in Austin, Texas, for what is sure to be an exciting day's racing.
Well, it was an exciting day's racing, but that's a week ago now, Crofty. Let's try one more time.
Welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, which is the location for today's race.
There we go, well played, Crofty mate. Look at this circuit, the stadium section here for the Mexican Grand Prix, which is where we're at today. I do apologize that we missed a couple of races with this series. I have been just amazingly busy with things that I won't go into further detail now because I would bore you to death. But I thought I'd put some effort in to get one of these F1 2015 Predicts videos out for the Mexican Grand Prix, since that's a new track on the calendar and one that should be really quite interesting. So I think we should just go ahead and see what this game feels like. The qualifying is going to be like. Here in Mexico you got both the McLarens knocked out in Q1, which is quite realistic. You got Marcus Ericsson there in 14th place, which is also very realistic. And then we got the home favourite Sergio Perez starting in 9th, just like in real life as well. Massa doing maybe better than expected in 3rd, but it's Lewis Hamilton then who takes pole here, according to this game, which is unlike real life where Nico Rosberg snatched it by nearly 0.2 of a second. But here we go then, let's just jump into the Mexican Grand Prix and see what this game thinks will happen here today. It looks like both of the Williams drivers have gotten a really good start here. Massa's already up alongside Nico Rosberg and he's passed him, and now having a look at Lewis Hamilton down into turn 1, and Felipe Massa streaking clear already into the lead, and we got a Ferrari up in second past Nico Rosberg as well. That is Kimi Räikkönen battling with Lewis Hamilton side by side through turn 3, but Hamilton with the better exit, seemingly staying in second place there, and Kimi Räikkönen slotting in behind. Sebastian Vettel as well staying ahead of Valtteri Bottas in 5th, and there's a bit of side by side for 7th back there with Daniel Ricciardo and one of the Force Indias, possibly the home favourite Sergio Perez, that if this was real life would be getting absolute huge cheers now going through this intimate section here. But poor start then for Mercedes. Wonder if that'll be something we see in real life as well, with them dropping down from 1-2 to 2nd and 4th at the moment after half a lap, with Felipe Massa leading the race. I'm not too sure that's going to happen in real life with Massa leading at this point, since he will start the race in 7th position. So he would need like a Ayrton Senna wet start to actually get up to first at this point in the race. Here we go then through the stadium section for the first time. Massa still leading, but under pressure now from Lewis Hamilton coming onto this, the main straight then to start the second lap. And this quite clearly will be the main overtaking position on this circuit. It is such a long straight, by far the longest you've got on here. No DRS quite yet, but Lewis Hamilton pulling in Felipe Massa in the slipstream here, coming down towards turn 1, fiddling a bit with his wheel and moving to the inside, braking later as well than Massa. Massa though trying to hold it around the outside but can't do it, so Lewis Hamilton into the lead of the race as the drivers make their way through the complex of turns 1, 2 and 3. And then we got another quite long straight coming down towards turn 4, where I reckon we could also see some battling in the race in real life if we are lucky. And then coming into this very slow complex here, starting with the chicane of turns 4 and 5, and then into the double apex, turn 6, taking at very slow speed with the grandstands all the way around. Very good atmosphere throughout the race here, I expect. Massive grandstands, and here you can see the home favourite Sergio Perez just ahead of Daniel Kvyat. So Perez running in the top 8 at the moment, but looks to be falling away from the top 7. And Felipe Massa now under pressure again, this time from Kimi Räikkönen, who makes a move now for 2nd place in the race up the inside, going into turn 12, which leads into the stadium section here, which is another very intimate section of the track with the grandstands all the way around. I believe this used to be a baseball stadium or something like that, hence why the stands are positioned as they are. But look at this side-by-side action then. It looks like Kimi Räikkönen has just about gotten the move done on Massa, but he's not going down the main straight without any slipstream at all, and Massa and Rosberg both pulling out to make it a 3 wide going down the straight. Is Sebastian Vettel also daring to join in the action? Is he making it 4 wide? No, he backs out of it. Bottas as well back there, going inside on Vettel as well, as Rosberg and Massa go side by side for 2nd place. And while all of this battling is going on, Lewis Hamilton out in front is pulling out a huge gap, which is the last thing that Nico Rosberg needs in his desperate fight to try and get a race win over on his teammate. But it seems to be just about making the move stick here though on Massa for 2nd, with Räikkönen looking on, and oh, they've touched! Räikkönen has hit Massa into the grass. Oh, there's contact between Vettel and Bottas as well. Ricciardo goes up to 3rd place as the Williams and Ferrari drivers have all just imploded on themselves. Coming out of turn 5, Vettel Vettel's lost his front wing, and the cars are just scattered everywhere. Bottas then carrying on, Raikkonen as well, getting back underway, and Felipe Massa spins again, trapping the front wing, or the nose of Vettel, since it doesn't have a front wing anymore, and spins again down to last place for Massa. Discounting me back there, driving us from Roberto Mary, just trying to stay out of the way. But Vettel's moving incredibly slowly without his front wing. Massa passes him easily, and you could kind of hear the cheers from the fans as that all was going on, because that of course means that Sergio Perez, the Mexican, has gained 4 positions, with both of the Williams and Ferrari cars all just scattered all everywhere, which is now really spread out the top 3 with the Mercedes drivers and Ricciardo in 3rd. There's battling now going on for 4th place, with Daniel Kvyat trying to get a move on Sergio Perez, the Russian trying to pass the Mexican coming out of turn 3 with his nose ahead, but Sergio Perez with that Mercedes engine getting a much better run down the straight, and Max Verstappen as well with the double slipstream, trying to be his usual aggressive self and get involved, but it just runs into a roadblock, and Daniel Kvyat has gotten a move done on the Mexican, to the fans' disgust, I guess. But a good move for him to go up to 4th, which is the position that Daniel Kvyat is actually starting in the real-life race, so he could well be in a similar position in that one as well. I'm sure Sergio Perez would be ecstatic if he's in this situation in real life, in 5th position at the moment. Now onto the start of lap 5 with Carlos Sainz in 7th, making a move on Felipe Nasser in that Sauber, running a lot better than what he did in qualifying in real life. Sauber looking pretty hopeless, to be perfectly honest. At least Nasser Ericsson was kind of alright in qualifying, but Nasser here though hangs on ahead of Sainz, as Sergio Perez now attacking Kvyat back with so much more straight line speed from that engine, but Kvyat might have a better time through the slow corners here. On the outside now through turn 5, Perez seemingly getting the move done, but Kvyat hanging in there is side by side through turn 6 as well. The fans are going mad in the hope for Perez to stay ahead, but Kvyat just once again gets the upper hand in the battle with the inside line for turn 7. Perez sliding about, can't hang on, and now they come through the fast flowing S section, as we are now one lap further on with Valtteri Bottas starting his climb back through the field. He's already overtaken one McLaren, and now he's trying to overtake Fernando Alonso for a 10th position. But bearing in mind that a couple of cars have already pitted in this race, quite early we have to say actually. I think it's Nico Hülkenberg and Max Verstappen who's already gone in, and Fernando Alonso in that McLaren fighting as hard as he possibly can to get the much more dominant Williams to stay behind him. As we got now Sergio Perez into the pits as well, which means both of the Force Indias have pitted at this point, but neither of the McLarens have, and they have no swap position, with Jenson Button's DRSing himself past Alonso, and Raikkonen doing exactly the same, even though he's getting a bit of a fight then from Alonso, who looks extremely feisty here, but just can't do anything to keep these cars behind, because that car is absolute dog shit with no straight line speed. He was an absolute huge victim of the DRS there, and also his own GP2 engine, as he would have put it himself. And now then, at the end of lap 7, the pit window has well and truly opened, with several cars going in, but the battling still carries on the track, with Bottas making yet another move, this time on Pastor Maldonado, just as Raikkonen behind is also making a move on Jenson Button, which is super easy, as based on experience the Ferrari and Williams cars do have the best straight line speed on this particular game. We've got Romain Grosjean and Marcus Ericsson coming out of the pits, just meeting those two Force Indias, and also Max Verstappen, who pulls themselves ahead. Hard to really say where exactly these cars all are in the overall scheme of things at the moment. We'll have to kind of wait and see until all the pit stops have panned out. So at the end of lap 8 then, the race leader Lewis Hamilton goes in as well, with Rosberg carrying on for another lap. But Hamilton still got a huge gap, so I don't think he'll be too feeling the pressure too much at this stage from his teammate. He is of course used to running by himself in front this season, annoyingly I guess for neutral viewers, but I'm sure that's amazing for the fans of Lewis Hamilton. And I think we now have kind of the rest of the field into the pits, with Maldonado then leaving his pit box with about 9 laps to go in the race. So let's see then where every one of these massive train of drivers field out into the traffic, where Verstappen is seemingly being overtaken by one of the Force Indias. That is Nico Hülkenberg. Sergio Perez are running out in front, so I believe actually Sergio Perez is in fourth there, unless Daniel Kvyat potentially is even further ahead. No, there is Kvyat actually, not too far ahead of Bottas. So yeah, I think Sergio Perez at this point is 4th on the circuit, which would be an incredible result for him on the debut of the Mexican Grand Prix, well, the return of the Mexican Grand Prix, I suppose. And, oh yeah, Nico Rosberg still hasn't pitted. I believe he's the last man then to go in for his pit stop, and he will surely be jumped back by Lewis Hamilton here. But yeah, what do you guys think then about this this circuit, based on what you've seen so far? I guess it's kind of hard to judge it before we've actually seen these cars go at it in the race around here in real life. Based on this particular race, it's certainly been quite a bit of action, but that doesn't always translate into reality. So I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about this circuit. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. As we got Kvyat and Bottas fighting it out for 9th position through the stadium section. I was about to say that I didn't really think that the stadium section will be particularly great for battling, but we've actually seen several side-by-sides here in this well, simulation of the race. Remains to be seen if that is something that will actually happen in reality as well. But certainly this is something that very well could happen in real life. Drafting and DRSing down the main straight into turn 1, with Raikkonen here trying to get past Marcus Ericsson. Come on, Marcus, man, hang on, you can do this. Or okay, maybe not, you can't. But yeah, there's a few things you have to consider, I guess, when you try to judge a track as well. I think the first thing which this track really has got going for is the atmosphere, which I think this particular section here, as well as the stadium section, will provide plenty of, with the intimate grandstands all the way around. But these slow sections, though, I did drive this track myself, obviously, kind of half-assed while this race was going on. And personally, for me, they were those two slow sections weren't particularly exciting to drive. And I'm also not sure how good they'll be for battling. I think we'll see in the real life race today whether the drivers can be bothered, I guess, to battle through those sections, or if they'll just sit back and wait for the DRS straight every time. But yeah, so my overall expectations for the race is that we got a Force India into the pits again for the second time. Nico Hülkenberg going in for a second pit stop in this 25% distance race, which is very weird. It's the first time we've seen a second pit stop in one of these Predicts videos, so I'm not completely sure why he did that. I mean, I know he, as well as Verstappen and his teammate Sergio Perez, pitted very early, and Perez from 4th position has gone in for a second stop as well, which could be absolutely devastating for his result, unless the rest of the field also goes into the pits. But so far it's also only been the two Force Indias and Max Verstappen, the three drivers that were running 4th, 5th and 6th, I believe. And here then Marcus Ericsson making a move. What a move that was! Great skill from the Sauber driver to keep his foot planted to get the DRS move down there. But yeah, very weird for those guys who pitted for a second time, and that is just really gifted the rest of the field to 3 positions here, because no one else has gone in at this point. With only 5 laps left to go, Romain Grosjean making a move on Felipe Nasser for what I now believe is 4th. Yeah, this is the battle which is now for 4th position, with Grosjean, Nasser, and then Bottas and Raikkonen, who's had an incredible comeback since their lap 3 calamity, as Marcus Ericsson is being overtaken again by Daniel Kvyat, and he does not have the speed on the straight there from the Red Bull, although I think that is also DRS straight, so Kvyat probably had DRS there. And look at this, Bottas has gotten past Nasser, and Nasser, who is spun into the side of Raikkonen. Raikkonen gave him a little bit of a tap coming out of turn 6, and Nasser, who was looking so good there in 5th, he's just sitting there, couldn't be bothered reversing out of the way first of all, but he's been pretty much overtaken by the entire field. Even those guys there who has pitted twice are now ahead of Felipe Nasser, so that is a huge blow for Sauber. But at least they got the man, the myth, the legend, Marcus Ericsson, now up to either 7th or 8th, as Valtteri Bottas then makes an easy pass on Romain Grosjean with DRS, and he's already like 8 car lengths ahead of him going into turn 1, or maybe more like 2 car lengths to be a little bit more or less exaggerated. But Raikkonen then just repeating what Bottas did on the back straight here, or one of the back straights, coming out the S section into the stadium section, and another pretty easy, straightforward move. The Ferrari and Williams again just showing their straight line speed and dominance compared to cars, midfield cars like the one Grosjean is driving. But already then we are on the final lap of this race, with Hamilton leading with a comfortable several seconds over Rosberg, so I don't think there'll be any battling going on there. But battling there shall be for the final points position between Felipe Massa and Pastor Maldonado, with both of the two McLarens not far behind. And once again here we're seeing side-by-side action through the stadium section and into the final corner. Massa pulling himself ahead onto the main straight, but now we'll have the cars behind him with the slipstream, and Maldonado getting a very bad exit there and might actually be under pressure here from the McLarens who are pulling closer to him. Here goes Jensen Button, but he's just not gaining at all. He was even losing time to Maldonado at the end of the straight, and Maldonado nearly getting a chance as well to get the job done back on Massa, but Massa stays ahead and looks set to finish in the final points position. And there's Force India battling going on here. A few laps ago this battle would have been for 4th position before these guys pitted for a second time, but now it's for 14th, which is very frustrating for them, I'm sure. And Hamilton then wins the race in a kind of boring fashion after he took the lead on lap 2 and just stay there with a huge gap. And here we go then, something at least to excite the Mexican fans, even though this is only for 14th place. Perez trying to win the battle of the Force Indias here, and he seems to have gotten the job done on Nico Hülkenberg. Verstappen is just sitting back, can't do anything about this, and Daniel Ricciardo finishes in the podium position here, which, you know, you can't never say never. That could happen in real life as well. He's starting in 5th, of course, as if I can say my words properly. Grosjean is 6th, and we had Bottas and Raikkonen in 4th and 5th, which is a great comeback for them. Kvyat 7th, Ericsson 8th, getting some points for you, and then Carlos Sainz in 9th, and as mentioned before, Massa again in the final point position. And then in the end, disappointment for Sergio Perez after Force India ruined the strategy of pitting twice, and well, disappointing return for him to his home country. And there we have the results then. Worth noting that Daniel Kvyat actually had a 5-second penalty for something, which drops him down from 7th to 9th and promotes Marcus Ericsson up to 7th place. What a man. And also Carlos Sainz up to 8th. But there's not too much more to say about these results. Obviously massively affected by that huge Williams-Ferrari explosion that happened on lap 3, which saw Bottas and Raikkonen having to fight back through, and they did get up to 4th and 5th in the end, but Vettel all the way down in 17th after having to pit for a new front wing, and he's also got a 5-second penalty just to make it even worse for him. Still finishes ahead of Stevens and Nasser though. But with that said, it's time for me to hand over to you guys and let you predict your top 5 finishers by posting in the comments below. The winner last time out at Japan, which was the last video I did, was a CRL Verstappen, who did a 5 out of 5 prediction in that race. Absolute scenes from him. The first person in any of these videos to have predicted the top 5 in absolutely correct order. So really well done to you, and I wonder if anyone can match that feat in this Mexican Grand Prix. So it's up to you guys to try and do that now. And with that said, I guess it's time for me to get this video actually uploaded and rendered, because I'm already quite late with it. So I do thank you all for watching again. It was another quite action-packed race here, and I really do hope as well that you enjoy the return of the Mexican Grand Prix. Enjoy the race tonight, and I will see you on the other side. So I will get you into the mood with a bit of Mexican tunes here, and hope you take care, guys. See you later.